N.U.B.Y. Jerald.net.
Any of the thoughts and opinions shared on this podcast belong solely to the members of the cast. This is not a reflection of the school districts and companies who employ us. These are just our thoughts and views and aren't intended for anything further than the entertainment and information for our viewers and listeners. Welcome to another episode of N.U.B.Y Academy's The Lunch Break. And today joining us for lunch is a dear friend of mine for close to 30 years, definitely 20 years plus. Goes by the name of, we'll go with the over then. And he goes by the name of Jerald Adams. Some of you may know him as JB Fresh, but today we'll just address him as Mr. Adams. Mr. Adams, what you having for lunch today, sir?
Man, today, man, with the short notice, man, I got some of this Metro Market sushi.
Oh, okay,
I don't even have the chopsticks. That's how fast we on the run eating.
Hey, I ain't mad at. Hey, you think that's bad? I'm over here with the water in the Nature Valley, man. We gonna make it work.
Are you calorie counting now, huh?
Yeah, man. You know I'm working on my summer body, man.
Summer bodies is made in the winter. You on top of it?
You right. Man, so the reason I wanted Mr. Adams to join us today for a lunch break is he's well versed in not only the city but in the field of education and in the community. So he's kind of a hybrid of a sense, a jack of all trades. So going back, Mr. Adams was a part of corporate America. Then he had a stint in education where he and I were actually colleagues at one point. We worked for the same charter school for a small period of time. And then he went off to bigger things in NPS. And right now, Jerald, what's your current role and program you're working with?
Family and community engagement under the Department of Strategic Partnerships and Customer Service with NPS. My role primarily is training parent coordinators, which is a Title I funded position, ensuring that they have the proper training and resources to get to families and make families a part of the educational process by giving them a voice and the ability to support the educational process at home.
Man, that was a lot to say and very impactful at the same time. I didn't even know it was that deep. I know for you, schedule isn't such a concrete thing, but for people viewing, what would a typical day look like for you?
Okay, just this morning alone, I've visited about 4 schools, schools from all the way from the deep South Side to the far north, meeting with parent coordinators, meeting with principals. Today, for example, I'm working with Zablocki Elementary, giving them some suggestions on how they can engage some of their families that are non-Hispanic speaking, especially through their Black History program and other social events. I've also attended Greenfield Bilingual School today, helping out that parent coordinator. She had volunteers, things of that nature. So talking about the plans. So folks think parent coordinators is just the folks that come out and greet families as they come, which is part of some of the things that they do, bake sales, PTOs, things of that nature, but they're also responsible for a lot of reporting. Some of the school improvement plan will have some family engagement pieces to it. And then they're also providing parents to get a chance to talk directly to the school board through the district advisory council.
Oh, okay. And that's pretty deep because I know back when I was in a classroom before I had an administrative role, I know a lot of the parent coordinators were EAs or paras in the building, and it kind of gave them an extra thing to do. Is it still similar, or is that a completely different role now in most schools?
I guess status wise, parents and paras are on a similar level, but now principals can't just pull a para and say, hey, you're going to do this part of the job in addition to what you're doing. The parent
Okay.
coordinator role is a Title I funded position. Principals have that in their budget to actually fulfill that role. So
Okay.
right now we're broken up into learning communities. So there's about 8 learning communities in NPS. I'm primarily responsible for 2 learning communities. So that's roughly about 35, 40 schools.
Oh.
But then also too, we have special projects that we will work with within particular schools. So one of my special projects has been fatherhood engagement.
Oh, okay, and that's we gonna circle back to that because I know that's something that I definitely wanted to talk about. But now, as I mentioned earlier, at one point you were in the classrooms. When did you know it was time to make that jump from the classroom into more community engagement surrounding education?
Well, as you know, there's not many of us in education, and just historically, women has pretty much dominated that field in education. But you know, in the rare opportunities where you do get a Black American man that represents the classroom population, um, they tend to get misused quite a bit. And I think in
Hmm.
my case, me coming from the corporate world into education was more of a passion thing. I had to learn how to become an educator in that sense, learning classroom management, learning how to uh, create curriculums, plans, and things of that nature. But they thought because I had good classroom management that I can handle an extreme behavior disorder class
Hmm.
without that proper training, and like it just became too much. It was very stressful at home. I started consuming alcohol at a very high rate, you know,
Hmm.
taking a shot before I went to school. So, you know, the stress of that was just a little bit too much. And then also too, during that time, I wasn't fully certified. I still had my charter school certification. So they wanted me to pay an additional $13,000 for me to only making
Mm,
another $5,000. So I'm like, you guys gotta find a way to pay to get me certified or else I'm out of here.
right, and that definitely makes sense. All right, so now you're doing the I can't even think of your whole entire title again, but you
It's
working with
called
families
FACE.
and I was gonna
It's
say
called
that's what I
FACE
was,
FACE Associate. Yeah, so family and community engagement is just
that's
short
what I
for
was gonna
FACE. Yeah.
call it. I was gonna say now that you're working with Face, but yeah, now that you're in your current role. Now, how long have you been in this current role?
Um, I did the job for 1 year for a special assignment, and then I ended up going back into the classroom, and then I went off to work with Maida House as a fatherhood involvement specialist. I had a small time with Running Rebels. I've also worked
Mhm.
with Brian and Stratton before I circled back to this role. So now I've been back in this role for about 5 years.
Oh, okay. Now tell us, now we're gonna circle back to your initiative. Tell us a little bit about your fatherhood initiative and what you got going on with that.
So just as we just stated, right now in NPS, there's about 6% of male staff of color. We have just under 70,000 students, and majority of the teachers or people in those staff are women, and then a good chunk of those are white women. So we have a very big discrepancy in the representation of the education for our students. I thought of a plan to say, okay, where can we get a pool of people from to at least help assist in the schools? So we started thinking about the dads and say, okay, we don't have a lack of males in the schools, but then, okay, we know that they're not going to be rushing to become teachers, things of that nature. It's not a very sexy position. But then how can they still have high impactful engagement? So the idea came from a group of gentlemen down in Shreveport, Louisiana, where the school was just out of control. You know, they had very bad climate issues. So the
Mhm.
men, the fathers of that school, clicked up together and just started just volunteering at the school, monitoring the schools through um, greeting and dismissal, hallways, lunchrooms, and things of that nature. I'm like, well, okay, let me take that concept and really put some, I guess, meat behind it and figure out a way that we can take that uh, movement that they created down there and try to create a system that we can do here. And that's what I came up with the Dads on Duty. So the Dads on Duty is an engagement system for schools to really involve fathers at a very minimum commitment, but a very high impact. So we broken it down into, you know, the four areas of volunteering that can do, you know, dismissal. So just as simple as giving kids high fives on the way to the building, you know, giving them boosting morale, giving them great self esteem as they go in, helping out in the hallways. So not taking the place of safety, but also
Mhm.
just being that extra set of eyes and that extra
Yep.
bit of encouragement to help people moving along throughout the classrooms. Recess. and then also lunchroom, just having a
Mm-hmm.
meal and just
Yep.
being able to play, things of that nature. And, it does several things. So, first it increases in attendance because you see how kids want to like break their line just to get their little high five. Even high school kids, they think they too cool and they just walk by and be like, because they seeing people that got love for them. The climate. So, there's extra sets of eyes within the building. You also have that male presence, which is both great for boy students and female students. And then grades. So now you have men that are there reading in different stories from voices, providing different mentorship and giving their examples to other students and other young men based on some of the mistakes or the things that have worked for them. So we try to give a call to dads and say, just give us 1 hour a month. So give us one lunch break a month, so 60 minutes. And then, we're able to track that for a particular school. We can say, okay, we had this number of dads that volunteered, this number of hours. Okay, based on that, these scores went up, this attendance went up, these behaviors or referrals went down.
Oh, okay. You kind of answered my next question was going to be going to the importance of active fathers and present fathers in the building. You kind of nailed all that right there. That's what's up. So now what's some of the obstacles facing some of the fathers in the community? Not only just the obstacles of being able to get into the building, but what may be like resources or things that they need? Like what's preventing that impact that we all know that fathers can have in these schools?
My biggest challenge personally has been background checks. We have a lot of men who just unfortunately have, been in and out of the system. Me on the first hand, those are the men that I would want to have in the schools, depending on what your situation is, because
Hmm.
we do have to make sure we have safe people around our children. So the background check is a must. And many of them don't even apply for that because they're aware of what those check marks may be within that particular situation. So that's been the biggest obstacle. But in lieu of that, we do other type of engagement opportunities. So we have schools that may do open gym with the dad. So just go out
Hmm.
and play basketball, have some games with the dads. I've also piggyback off of the real man, real talk concept and added another level of that where I'm actually bringing in barbers into the schools and
Hmm.
we have dads come sit in talk circles. We call that cuts and conversation. So we're actually bringing the old school barbershop style therapy into the schools where young men can talk about everything from drugs to sex to stealing cars to vaping to business to college to trades, anything that's going on that they normally wouldn't have the space and opportunities to talk to
Hmm.
individuals about.
Man, that's what's up. I think back to during the time we were in high school and for those watching this, we attended the greatest high school of all time, Rufus King in Milwaukee. We were there together. But going back to those times to even have an outlet like that, because I know the main focus of King in our high school was all college bound. It never really had those things to touch on those social aspects and things outside of the classroom. It never came up. It was like you either just had to figure that out, but King was just about getting to college. But I see that now
So
you bring in a different outlet.
yeah, and I tell my aunt this all the time. I said, "You gave me some of the best, worst advice ever." Because all we was told was to go to school, get a good job. Go to
Mhm.
school, get a good job. Go to school, get a good job. You and I both had passions in music at
Yep.
that time. And where we were at, we're ahead of the game, talently and business wise. Cause I've sacrificed my music performance to
Mm.
push you, what I'm saying, as an
Mhm.
artist. And
Mhm.
we got traction with that, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because it took the
Yep.
team effort. But had we known that we could have been going to school for, production,
Right.
marketing,
Right.
legal music, legal things, our
Mhm.
careers would have took a different trajectory. But
Yep.
we weren't taught to follow our dreams that way. We was like, all right,
Mhm.
you ain't gonna make it as a rapper. Only so many people
Right.
can do this.
Yep. Yep.
Y'all not in New York. You're not in Atlanta. You're not
Mhm.
in California. So I tell my aunt that all the time. Like, so when it came time for me to telling my kids, I tell my kids to dream as if you can fly, dream as if you have $1 million. aim for the stars, and if you don't make it, you might land on the moon. So at least we got up out of here. So that's what I try to
Mm-hmm.
tell my kids. And so far as working, I got a son that's halfway across the world that's helping fighter jets land on little ships, and my
Mm-hmm.
other child is in college now, getting ready to be a pediatrician. So I'm 2 for 2 right now.
Dude, that's what's up, man. Salute to that, man. Hey, man, that's the goal, man. All three of mine kind of young right now, but hey, we definitely trying to follow that same path to greatness. One more thing about the Fatherhood Initiative. Are there any other resources that you could offer any fathers that may see this?
Yeah, 100%. So just next week Thursday at WCS on 27th and Capitol, there's a fatherhood legal rights responsibilities session. And in those sessions, they can get information on child support, which is some of the biggest obstacles for getting a job, getting your license, getting a passport, or buying property. um, Driver's license recovery. So sometimes, being able to get to jobs, get to your kids is an obstacle.
Mm-hmm.
And then also job resources and fatherhood help too as well. So all of those things are available there. But then there's tons of organizations like Fathers Making Progress that has resources. They even have kiosks now to pay child support. So now you can go pay your child support, even if you're not working, or you're doing some other things, but you still take care of your responsibilities. You can go pay
Mm-hmm.
down at the King Center. G's Clippers has a kiosk where you can just go pay like you're paying a ticket, but it'll go right to the kid. You can
Oh,
keep the
okay.
notes of business that way. So um, it's just a matter of asking. Now the resources aren't as prevalent as they are for women. We still lack a little bit in like men's housing or men's transitional housing.
Mm-hmm.
There aren't as many resources for single fathers as they are with mothers, things of that nature. So there's still quite a bit of discrepancies out there for men. But when you start to get in the circles where the men are helping that, you notice that a lot more men help. And then also too, Real Men, Real Talk, every third Monday of the month down at G's Clippers, hosted by G and Quabana, is just like a therapeutic session with like-minded men who are going through similar things. So same thing where the topics can be anything between business, sex, religion. But it's just a group of men that are there to support each other. You see grown men crying, giving
Mm-hmm.
hugs, praise, clapping it up. Anything that's going on to support the brothers, man. So that's taking place at G's Clippers every third Monday. And then there's going to be resources there as well.
Oh, okay, that's what's up, man. Any last words or any last insightfulness or anything you want to share with our viewers before we move on to rapid fire?
So my book is coming out called A Kid from Berryland. So
Ooh,
and
okay.
Berryland ain't, even though it's physically a place, it's not about the physical place. Being from Berryland is saying like, okay, you can do anything that you want to do, no matter where you're at in the world, no matter what your conditions are, no matter who your parents were, you still can do anything. So that's gonna be my book coming out soon. So, if they say if you can dream and you can achieve it, it's almost true. It's
Dude,
almost true.
dude, that's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. I'm looking forward to that, man. I need me a good read over here. All right, so now is rapid fire. Now, a lot of these are based on uh teaching and in the classroom, which you do have experience with, but then the last choice is just a anybody category. So pick one of these categories. You can do classroom life, teacher struggles, instruction and policies, teacher reality, or you get the lunch break special.
Give me the special.
Okay, so this is a this or that, a either or is no right or wrong answer. So first up, leftovers or meal prep,
Meal prep,
bring lunch or fast food,
fast food,
carry out or drive through,
carry out.
DoorDash or Uber Eats.
Neither. Hey, I seen some of them drivers come in the building, man. I don't want my food going through different things. Sometimes they'll go in the
Man.
bag and eat a fry.
Oh yeah, you know they do the fry tax. They got to fry
Yeah.
tax you. Next up, caffeine or water.
Water.
And the final one, school restroom or hold it till you make it home.
The teacher lounge. Hey,
I ain't
because
mad
sometimes
at
you
you.
done have some of that school lunch, man. You know,
Hey, you gotta know where you can go, dog. That's one of the
it keep,
first things you figure out when you work at somewhere.
it's like, okay, it's nice and quiet.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna see my shoes.
Oh man, definitely gotta keep them feet up, man, against the little door.
Yeah, man. Or have you special boo-boo shoes, you know what I'm saying? So you'll
Yeah.
think you somebody else.
Oh, that's a key. I ain't never knew that one. Okay.
I don't know. I just made that up, but that was funny,
Oh,
though.
okay. Gotta keep a pair of boo-boo shoes on deck, dog.
Boo-boo shoes.
Boo-boo shoes. Man, that's what's up. With that being said, hey, tell them where they can find you online or on social media, man. What's your handles?
Everything is real JB Fresh, REALJAYB Fresh. I also got Bar on Bar Lot 46, so I'm the co-owner of a little historical corner bar formerly known as Waz's. So between that, kids, and work, man, and I'm still DJing, so still out here.
Yes, sir. And with that being said, man, I want to thank you for having lunch with us today. I want to toast you. What you got over there? All right, go on, we toast up, man.
All right, my brother.
Yes, sir, man. Thanks for everything, bro.
All right, take care.
Like and subscribe. N.U.B.Y. Jerald.net.